Rain hammers the glass like fists demanding entry. Lien Chen's knees ache. Her yellow rubber gloves drip soapy water onto marble floors that cost more than her yearly salary. The mop handle digs into her blistered palms as she works her way through the 42nd floor hallway of Portwell Tower, where the wealthy sleep and the invisible clean. Her son Kai sleeps on her back, small arms wrapped around her neck, his black suit jacket, the one she bought secondhand for school pictures, wrinkled against her blue uniform. He's too heavy for this. 7 years old and still clinging to her like he did when he was 3, back when his father was alive. Thunder cracks. The building shudders. Then she hears it, screaming. Not the kind from TV shows or movies. This is raw, guttural, a child's voice tearing itself apart. Lien freezes, mop still in hand. The sound comes from the penthouse at the end of the hall, the one everyone warned her about on her first day. Don't make eye contact with Mr. Rengoku. Don't speak unless he speaks first. And whatever you do, stay away from the kid. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. Glass shatters inside the penthouse. Something heavy hits a wall. The screaming gets louder, higher, desperate. Kai stirs against her back. His voice is small, frightened. Mama, Lien's hands shake. She should walk away. This isn't her business. She's a janitor, not a therapist, not a nanny, not anyone who matters in a place like this. But her feet move forward anyway. The penthouse door stands open. Inside, destruction sprawls across white furniture and expensive rugs. Plates shattered, a lamp smashed, a chair overturned. And in the center of it all, a man in a white blazer stands frozen, jaw clenched, tattoos dark against his neck and knuckles. Kazuo Rengoku. His mouth opens like he's shouting, but no sound comes out. Or maybe it does, and Lien just can't hear it over the ringing in her ears, over the hammering of her own heartbeat. On the floor, a small boy thrashes. 7, maybe 8 years old. Dark hair wild. Face red. Tears streaming. Not throwing a tantrum. This is something else. Something deeper. Lien recognizes it immediately. Emotional overload. The kind that happens when a child's nervous system can't process what it's feeling. When the world becomes too loud, too bright, too much. She learned about this during her 2 semesters of nursing school before the money ran out, before her husband died, before survival became more important than dreams. Kazuo's eyes snap to her. Dark, dangerous. His voice cuts through the chaos like a blade. Get out. But Lien doesn't move. Kai slides off her back, his small hand finding hers. His other hand reaches toward the boy on the floor. The screaming stutters. Stops. The boy's chest heaves. His eyes, red-rimmed, exhausted, lock onto Kai. Lien kneels. Slowly. Her knees press into scattered glass. She doesn't flinch, doesn't speak, just breathes. Steady, calm. The way she used to breathe when Kai had night terrors, when the world felt too big for both of them. The boy's gaze shifts to her, confused, still crying but softer now. Kai steps forward. No fear, just a 7-year-old in a wrinkled black suit who somehow understands what adults don't. His small hand touches the boy's arm. It's okay, Kai whispers. You could be tired. The boy crumbles, not in rage, in exhaustion. He collapses forward, and Lien catches him. His weight sags against her chest. His tears soak through her uniform. His breathing slows, steadies. Kazuo stands motionless, his hands still clenched, his tattoos still vivid against rage-flushed skin. But something in his expression cracks. For the first time in years, his son sleeps against a stranger. Lien looks up at Kazuo. His face has gone pale. His jaw trembles. What did you do to him? His voice isn't angry. It's terrified. Lien's throat tightens. She adjusts her grip on the sleeping boy, careful not to wake him. Nothing special, she says quietly. He just needed someone who wasn't trying to fix him. Kazuo's breath catches. His eyes drop to his son, to the child who hasn't been calm in months, who screamed at therapists, bit nannies, destroyed everything within reach. Now sleeping peacefully in the arms of a janitor. Thunder rumbles. Rain continues its assault on the glass walls. Kazuo's voice drops to a whisper. You're not leaving. We need to talk now. Have you ever worked somewhere you felt invisible? Drop a comment below and hit subscribe, because what happens next will change everything. The boy's name is Renji. Lien learns this while holding him on the leather couch, his small body still pressed against her chest like he's afraid to let go. Kai sits beside them, one hand resting on Renji's arm, the other clutching his mother's sleeve. Kazuo paces behind the couch, back and forth, back and forth. His shoes click against marble, each step deliberate, controlled, but his hands won't stop moving, running through his hair, clenching into fists, spreading flat against his thighs. He's been like this for 8 months, Kazuo says. His voice is rough, stripped of the authority Lien heard in the hallway. Every night, sometimes twice a day, the doctors don't know what's wrong. The therapists quit. The nannies walk out. Lien doesn't respond, just keeps her breathing steady. Her hand rests lightly on Renji's back, feeling the rise and fall of his chest. Kazuo stops pacing, turns, his eyes bore into her. What did you do? I told you. Nothing. That's not an answer. Lien shifts carefully, making sure Renji stays asleep. He was overwhelmed. His body couldn't process what he was feeling, so it shut down. It's not a tantrum. It's survival. Kazuo's jaw tightens. You're a janitor. I was a nursing student. Before. She doesn't elaborate. Doesn't explain about the tuition she couldn't afford, the funeral costs, the bills that buried her dreams. That's not his business. Kazuo stares at her like he's seeing something he didn't expect. His gaze drops to Kai, who hasn't moved, hasn't made a sound, just keeps his small hand on Renji's arm like an anchor. How old is he? Kazuo asks. 7. Same age. Kazuo's voice cracks, just slightly. But your son, he's calm. He's had to be. The words hang heavy between them. Lien doesn't mean them as an accusation, but Kazuo flinches anyway. Minutes pass. Rain softens against the windows. The penthouse settles into a silence that feels fragile, like glass about to break. Then Renji stirs. His eyes flutter open. Confusion crosses his face. He looks at Lien, then at Kai, then over his shoulder at his father. And instead of screaming, instead of thrashing, he does something no one expects. He reaches for Kai, not for Lien, not for his father, for the quiet boy who whispered that it was okay to be tired. Kai doesn't hesitate. He scoots closer, and Renji's small hand grabs onto his sleeve. Kazuo's breath hitches. His knuckles go white. His entire body tenses like he's been struck. Because in that moment, his son, the child who trusted no one, who fought everyone, chose someone else. Lien sees it on Kazuo's face. The pain, the jealousy, the helplessness of a man who can control empires but can't reach his own son. She stands slowly, carefully lifting Renji and placing him on the couch beside Kai. Both boys lean into each other, exhausted, eyes half closed. Kazuo watches them. His throat works. His fists clench and unclench. How much do you make? He asks suddenly. Lien blinks. Excuse me? Your salary. How much? That's not. Answer me. His tone leaves no room for argument. Lien straightens her spine, meeting his gaze head on. $15 an hour. Night shift. Kazuo's expression hardens. Not with anger, with decision. He crosses to a desk near the window, pulls out a card, scribbles something on the back. When he turns, he holds it out to her. Triple. Health benefits. A driver for your son. Anything you need. Lien stares at the card but doesn't take it. I clean floors, Mr. Rengoku. I don't fix families. You just calmed him in 5 minutes. Professionals couldn't do it in 8 months. He calmed for Kai, not me. The truth of it land hard. Kazuo's hand drops. The card flutters to the floor between them. For a long moment, neither speaks. Then Renji's voice cuts through the silence. Small, clear. Kai. Kai looks up. Yeah. Can you stay? Kazuo's face goes pale. His mouth opens, but nothing comes out. Lien picks up her mop from where she left in the hallway. Her hands shake as she grips the handle. I should finish my shift. Wait. Kazuo's voice stops her at the door. She doesn't turn around. You're not leaving, he says. His tone is different now. Not commanding. Pleading. We need to talk now. What would you do if a child trusted your son more than anyone else? Como olvido? The kitchen smells like expensive coffee and something burnt. Lien stands near the counter, yellow gloves still on, uniform still damp from the hallway. Kazuo leans against the marble island across from her, arms crossed, tattoos vivid in the overhead lights. Kai and Renji sleep on the couch in the next room, visible through the glass partition. Safe. Sit, Kazuo says. I'd rather stand. His jaw tightens, but he doesn't push. Instead, he opens a drawer, pulls out a tablet, taps the screen a few times. Then he turns it toward her. Lien's face stares back at her. A file. Her file. Name. Address. Employment history. Bank statements. Medical records. Even a photo of Kai from his school enrollment form. Her blood runs cold. What is this? Background check. Standard for anyone who enters this building. Kazuo's voice is flat. Clinical. You're 29. Widowed at 23. Husband died in a construction accident. No lawsuit. No settlement. You dropped out of nursing school 2 semesters in. You worked 4 jobs in the past 6 years. You're 3 months behind on rent. Lien's hands curl into fists. You had no right. I have every right. This is my home. My son. His eyes bore into hers. I know everything about you, Lien Shun. What I don't know is why you walked into that room tonight. Because a child was screaming. Plenty of people hear children scream. They walk away. Maybe I'm not plenty of people. Kazuo's expression shifts. Just slightly. Something like respect flickers across his face before disappearing. He sets the tablet down, runs a hand through his hair. When he speaks again, his voice is quieter. I can control everything in my life. Business, money, enemies, allies. He pauses, swallows. Accept him. The admission hangs in the air like a confession. Lien's anger softens. Just a fraction. She glances through the glass partition at the boys sleeping peacefully, curled toward each other like they've known each other for years instead of hours. He's not broken, she says quietly. He's just overwhelmed. By what? By everything. The noise, the expectations. The people try to fix him when he doesn't need fixing. She meets Kazuo's gaze. He needs someone who understands that sometimes being okay means falling apart first. Kazuo stares at her, really stares, like he's trying to read something written in a language he doesn't speak. What will it take for you to stay? Lien's throat tightens. Already told you, not as a janitor, as whatever this is. He gestures toward the boys. Whatever you did tonight. Whatever your son did. I need it. You can't buy this. I can buy anything. Not this. The words land hard. Kazuo's jaw clenches. His hands flatten against the counter. Silence stretches between them. Tense. Fragile. Then, from the other room, a voice. Small. Clear. Kai. Both adults turn. Renji sits up on the couch, rubbing his eyes. He looks around, confused, searching. Kai, he says again. Louder this time. Desperate. Kai stirs beside him, blinking awake. I'm here. Renji grabs on Kai's arm. Not frantic. Not panicked. Just holding on. And for the first time since Lien entered this penthouse, Renji speaks a full sentence without screaming. Don't go. Kazuo's breath catches. His knuckles go white against the counter. Lien watches him. Watches the way his face cracks. The way his eyes glisten. The way he looks at his son like he's seeing him for the first time. This isn't about money. It's not about control. It's about a father who doesn't know how to save his own child. Kazuo turns back to Lien. His voice is raw. Please, if someone knew everything about you, would you trust them? Drop your answer below. The offer comes 3 nights later. Lien arrives at the building with Kai as usual, expecting to clean hallways and bathrooms and disappear before sunrise. Instead, security redirects her to the penthouse. Kazuo waits in the lobby. White blazer, gray pants, tattoos dark against his skin. His expression is guarded, but his eyes betray exhaustion. You're not cleaning tonight. Lien's stomach drops. Am I being let go? No, you're coming upstairs. Kai's hand tightens around hers. She wants to refuse, wants to walk away from whatever this is before it swallows them whole. But Kai looks up at her with those wide, hopeful eyes. and she can't say no. They follow Kazuo into the elevator. The ride up is silent except for the hum of machinery and Kai's quiet breathing. When the doors open, Renji stands in the middle of the living room. He's building something, a model car, red and sleek, pieces scattered across the coffee table. The moment he sees Kai, he smiles. A real smile, the rarest thing in this apartment. Kai runs to him without hesitation, dropping to his knees beside the table. What are you making? A race car. Want to help? Yeah. Lien's chest tightens. She glances at Kazuo, who watches the boys with an expression she can't quite read. Pain, relief, longing. His therapist said he wouldn't engage with puzzles or building toys, Kazuo says quietly. They said he lacked focus. He doesn't lack focus. He lacked a reason. Kazuo's gaze shifts to her. You see that in 5 minutes. Professionals missed it in 8 months. Lien doesn't respond, just watches Kai and Renji snap pieces together, laughing when something doesn't fit, trying again. Kazuo clears his throat. I want to make you an offer. I already said, hear me out. He gestures toward the couch. Please. Reluctantly, Lien sits. Kazuo remains standing, hands in his pockets, shoulders tense. Triple your salary. Full health benefits for you and Kai. A driver to take him to school. Anything you need. He pauses. All you have to do is be here. Help Renji the way you did that night. Lien shakes her head. I clean floors, Mr. Rengoku. I don't raise children. You raised yours. That's different. Ow! The question catches her off guard. She looks at Kai. Small, quiet, resilient. And something aches in her chest. Because I had no choice. Kazuo's expression softens. Just slightly. Neither do I. For a moment, neither speaks. The boy's laughter fills the silence. Then Lien stands. I can't accept this. It's not fair to Renji. He doesn't need me. He needs his father. Kazuo's jaw clenches. He doesn't listen to me. Because you're trying to control him instead of understanding him. The words land like a punch. Kazuo's hands curl into fists. His breathing quickens. But before he can respond, his phone buzzes. He pulls it out, glances at the screen, and his entire body goes rigid. What is it? Lien asks. Kazuo doesn't answer. Just stares at the phone, jaw tight, knuckles white. Then he looks up at her. His voice is low. Dangerous. Stay close to your son tonight. The family is watching. Would you take the money if it meant entering a world you don't understand? Comment your choice. Black sedans follow her home. Lien notices them on the 3rd night. One behind her bus. Another parked across from her apartment building. Always watching, never approaching. She tells herself it's paranoia. That Kazuo's world doesn't bleed into hers. But then Kai mentions the men. Mama, why do those guys keep staring at us? Her blood runs cold. She pulls him closer on the bus, wrapping her arm around his shoulders. Don't look at them, baby. Just look at me. But Kai's eyes drift to the window anyway, to the sedan crawling behind them, dark and sleek and wrong. At the penthouse, things change. Renji laughs more, speaks more, plays without screaming. His progress is slow but undeniable. Every night, he waits by the door for Kai, and every night they build something together. Cars, planes, towers that reach toward the ceiling. Kazuo watches from a distance, never interfering, never joining, just watching. One evening, Lien catches him staring at her instead of the boys. His expression is unreadable. What? She asks. You're good at this. At what? Being present. Most people perform. You just are. Lien doesn't know how to respond to that, so she doesn't. But later, when she's cleaning the kitchen, because she still insists on doing her job, despite Kazuo's protests, she overhears a conversation. Kazuo on the phone, his voice low, tense. I don't care what they think. She's not leaving. A pause, because he needs her. Another pause, longer this time. No, that's not negotiable. When he hangs up, his shoulders sag. He doesn't notice Lien standing in the doorway. She clears her throat. He spins, startled. Who is that? She asks. No one. Don't lie to me. Not after you ran a background check. Kazuo's jaw tightens. For a moment, she thinks he won't answer. Then he sighs. My father. He's concerned. About what? About you. About Kai. About people asking questions. Lien's stomach twists. What kind of questions? Kazuo doesn't answer. Just looks at her with an expression that makes her skin crawl. You should go home early tonight. What? Just trust me. But Lien doesn't trust easily. Not anymore. She finishes her shift, collects Kai, heads to the elevator, and when she opens her locker in the staff room to grab her bag, something falls out. A piece of paper, folded once. No envelope. Her hands shake as she unfolds it. The message is short, typed, unsigned. Leave now, or your son disappears first. Would you walk away to protect your child, or stay to fight? Tell us in the comments. The threat letter trembles in Lien's hand. Black ink on white paper. 9 words that shatter everything. Leave now, or your son disappears first. Her locker door hangs open. Someone violated her space. Someone knows where she works, where Kai goes to school, the routes she walks home. She folds the note, slides it into her uniform pocket. Her fingers don't shake anymore. They've gone numb. Kai sits cross-legged in the supply closet, homework spread across his lap. He doesn't know yet. He's still safe in his small world of math problems and pencil shavings. Lien makes her decision. She'll finish tonight's shift. Then she'll disappear. Change apartments. Find work somewhere far from Portwell City. Somewhere the Rengoku name doesn't reach. The elevator rises. 4 numbers climb. Her heart pounds against her ribs. When the doors open to the penthouse, Kazuo stands waiting. His white blazer catches the hallway light. Tattoos crawl up his neck like warnings written in ink. But his face carries something she's never seen before. Fear. He holds an identical letter. Same black ink. Same 9 words. Same threat. Someone leaked this to me 20 minutes ago, he says. His voice stays low, controlled, but his jaw clenches hard enough to crack teeth. Someone inside my organization thought I wouldn't find out. Lien's breath catches. How did you? I have the building monitored. He steps closer, not threatening, protective. Your locker, the hallways, every entrance. I saw who put this in your locker. Her chest tightens. Then you know I can't stay. You think leaving makes you safe? His laugh comes out bitter, sharp. They already know your address. Your son's school, your sister's apartment across town. The words hit like fists. Kazuo's expression hardens. The fear disappears behind something colder. Deadlier. Someone threatens your boy? His voice drops to a whisper. They threaten me. Lien shakes her head. This isn't your fight. It became my fight the moment Renji stopped screaming for the first time in 3 years. He pulls out his phone, swipes twice, turns the screen toward her. Security footage. Black and white. Timestamp from this afternoon. A man in a Rengoku security uniform approaches her locker, slides the letter through the vent, walks away like he owns the building. Lien recognizes him. He's worked lobby security for months. Always polite, always professional, always watching. His name is Marcus Webb, Kazuo says. He's been feeding information to my father's rivals for 6 months. Bank accounts, meeting schedules, security rotations. He swipes again. More footage. Marcus meeting with 2 men in a parking garage. Money exchanged. Envelopes passed. They wanted leverage. Kazuo continues. Something to destabilize me. And they found it. Me. The word tastes like ash. You and your son. He locks his phone, slides it back into his pocket. They think you're a weakness. Proof that I'm going soft. That I care about something other than power. Lien's throat tightens. So what happens now? Kazuo looks past her, through the glass doors, down at the city spread below like scattered diamonds. Now, he turns back. His eyes carry something absolute, final. Now I show them what happens when someone threatens what's mine. The possessiveness should feel wrong, should send her running. Instead, it feels like the first safe breath she's taken in hours. I didn't agree to be yours, she whispers. You didn't have to. His voice softens, just slightly. You became part of this the moment you walked into that room and calmed my son when no one else could. When you showed him kindness he's never known. When you made him believe people can be gentle. Footsteps echo from inside the penthouse. Renji appears in the doorway, hair messy from sleep, eyes half closed. Kai's not here yet, he says. Voice small, uncertain. Lien glances at the clock. 7:45. Kai's still at after-school care. She's supposed to pick him up at 8. I'll get him soon, she promises. Renji nods, disappears back inside. Kazuo watches him go. His expression shifts, softens, then hardens again when he looks back at Lien. I'm assigning security to your son's school. 2 guards, rotating shifts. They'll stay invisible but close. I can't afford. You're not paying. He cuts her off. Not cruel. Matter of fact. This is on me. My organization. My responsibility. Lien's chest tightens. And what do you want in return? The question hangs between them. Kazuo steps closer. Close enough that she can see the scar beneath his left eye. Close enough that she smells his cologne, cedar, and smoke. I want you to trust me, he says quietly. Just for tonight. Let me protect you both. Let me handle this. Handle it how? His smile doesn't reach his eyes. You don't want to know. She should say no. Should grab Kai and run. Should disappear into the night before this world swallows them whole. But Renji's face flashes in her mind. The way he smiled at Kai yesterday. The way he built that model car without throwing it. The way he's starting to believe the world might not hurt him. And Kazuo, standing here with that letter in his hand, promising violence to protect the janitor and her son. The elevator dings behind them. The doors slide open. Kai steps out, backpack slung over one shoulder, face lighting up when he sees his mother. Then he notices Kazuo, the tension, the way his mother's shoulders stay rigid. Mom. His voice carries worry beyond his years. Lien forces a smile. Everything's fine, baby. But Kazuo crouches down. I level with Kai, his tattoos stark against his skin, his voice impossibly gentle. You're a brave kid, he tells Kai. Braver than most adults I know. And I need you to keep being brave tonight. Can you do that? Kai nods slowly. Good. Kazuo stands. Looks at Lien. Stay close to your son tonight. Don't leave the penthouse. I have people stationed outside. No one gets through. Where are you going? The question escapes before she can stop it. Kazuo's expression goes cold. Empty. To remind people why they fear the Rengoku name. He walks past them, steps into the elevator, turns around. The doors start to close. But just before they shut completely, he says 3 words that freeze her blood. They're coming tonight. The elevator descends. Lien stands frozen. Kai's hand finds hers. And somewhere in the city below, war is already beginning. Have you ever had to choose between safety and loyalty? Between running away and standing your ground? Drop your answer in the comments below and hit that subscribe button because what happens next will change everything. Glass explodes inward at 11:47. Lien jerks awake on the penthouse couch. Kai and Renji sleep beside her, tangled in blankets she pulled from the guest room. Another crash, closer this time. She moves on instinct, grabs both boys, hauls them toward the back hallway. Mom, Kai's voice, groggy, confused. Laundry room. Now. She doesn't explain, doesn't have time. Renji wakes faster. His eyes go wide, terrified. He's heard breaking glass before. Footsteps echo across marble. Heavy boots. Multiple people. Lien shoves both boys into the laundry room. It's small, cramped, smells like detergent and fabric softener. Lock the door behind me, she whispers. Don't open it for anyone except me or your father. Renji's lip trembles. Where are you going? To make sure no one finds you. She closes the door, hears the lock click, then she turns around. 3 men stand in the penthouse. Black tactical gear, faces covered, guns drawn but not raised. They're not here to kill. They're here to take. The lead man gestures toward the back hallway. We know the kid's here. Make this easy. Lien doesn't move. Her heart slams against her ribs. Her hands shake, but she plants her feet in front of the laundry room door. You'll have to go through me. The man laughs. Lady, we don't want you. Just move. No. His laughter dies. He steps forward. Last chance. Lien's knees threaten to buckle. She's never fought anyone, never thrown a punch. She cleans floors for a living. But Kai's behind that door. And so is Renji. No, she says again. The man reaches for her. Then the front door explodes open. Kazuo enters like thunder. His white blazer is gone. Blood streaks his shirt. His knuckles are split and bleeding. His eyes carry something beyond rage, something primal and absolute. The three men spin toward him. One raises his gun. Kazuo moves faster than thought. He closes the distance in 2 strides, grabs the gunman's wrist, twists it backward until bones crack. The gun clatters to the floor. The second man charges. Kazuo drives an elbow into his throat. The man drops, gasping, choking. The third man, the one who threatened Lien, backs toward the windows. Kazuo stalks forward, blood dripping from his hands, tattoos stark against his skin. "You came into my home," he says. Voice low, deadly calm. "You threatened a child. We were following orders," the man stammers. "I don't care." Kazuo grabs him by the throat, lifts him off the ground, slams him against the glass window hard enough to crack it. "You tell whoever sent you," Kazuo whispers. "Tell them what happens when they touch what's mine." He drops the man. The intruder collapses, coughing, defeated. Sirens wail in the distance. Red and blue lights flash through the windows. But these aren't real police. They're Rengoku security. Controlled response. Cleanup crew. Kazuo turns toward Lien. His expression shifts from fury to something softer, more human. "Are you hurt?" She shakes her head. Can't find words. He walks past her, stops at the laundry room door, knocks twice. Gentle. "Renji, it's over. Open the door." The lock clicks. The door creaks open. 2 small faces peer out. Kai holds Renji's hand. Both boys are pale, shaking, but alive. Kazuo drops to his knees. Eye level with his son. Blood still on his hands. Violence still written across his face. "I'm sorry," he whispers. "I'm so sorry you had to hear that." Renji doesn't speak, just launches himself into his father's arms. Kazuo catches him, holds him close. His whole body trembles. Kai steps toward Lien. She scoops him up, buries her face in his hair. For 3 heartbeats, the world goes silent. Then footsteps echo from the hallway. Men in tactical gear, Rengoku security, enter. Professional, efficient. They haul the 3 intruders out without a word. One guard stops beside Kazuo. "Sir, your father wants to speak with you." Kazuo doesn't look up. "Tell him I'll call tomorrow." He said it's urgent. "I don't care." His voice carries finality. "I'm not leaving them tonight." The guard nods, disappears. Lien sets Kai down. Her legs finally give out. She sinks onto the couch. Renji pulls away from his father, walks over to Kai, takes his hand. "You okay?" Renji asks. Kai nods. "You?" "Yeah." They don't let go of each other. Kazuo stands slowly. His gaze finds Lien's, and for the first time since she met him, she sees the mask crack completely. "This is my fault," he says. "All of it. You were right. You should never have been part of this." Lien's throat tightens. "They would have taken him." "I know. If I hadn't been here." "I know." He moves closer, sits on the couch beside her, keeps distance between them. Respectful. "But you were here, and you stood in front of that door like you could stop an army." "I was terrified." Bravery isn't not being scared. His voice softens. It's being scared and doing it anyway. Silence stretches between them. Kai and Renji sit on the floor. Renji pulls out the model car they built yesterday. They work on it quietly, a strange calm settling over them. Lien watches them. Her chest aches. "What happens now?" she whispers. Kazuo leans back, closes his eyes, blood still staining his shirt. "Now." He opens his eyes, looks at her. "Now I burn it all down." "What does that mean?" "It means tomorrow I dismantle half my father's operations. Fire every captain who can't be trusted. Clean the books. Shut down everything that makes us a target." Lien's breath catches. "Your father will never allow that." "My father doesn't get a choice." His jaw sets. "Not anymore." "Kazuo, I watched my son almost get taken tonight because people think I'm weak." His voice breaks, just slightly. "Because I care about something other than power. Because I let a janitor and her son into my life, and my son smiled for the first time in years." He looks at her, really looks at her. "You changed him," Kazuo says. You changed me, and I won't let this world touch either of you again. Lien doesn't know what to say, so she just nods. Outside, dawn starts breaking over Portwell City, pink and gold bleeding across the skyline. Inside the penthouse, four people sit in silence. Two boys building a model car, one woman trying to process everything, one man deciding to tear down an empire. And somewhere across the city, a patriarch receives a phone call that will change everything. What would you do if protecting someone meant destroying everything you built? If you're hooked on this story, hit that like button and subscribe, because the next chapter reveals a choice that no one sees coming. Paramedics arrive at 6:17. Lien watches through the penthouse windows. Ambulances park below, lights flashing but no sirens. Controlled, quiet. This isn't a real emergency response. This is Rengoku damage control. A female paramedic enters the penthouse. Kind eyes, professional hands. She checks both boys for injuries, takes vitals, asks gentle questions. Kai answers clearly, calmly. He's good at holding himself together. Renji stays silent, watches everything like he's waiting for the next attack. The paramedic moves to Lien, checks her pulse, shines a light in her eyes. You're in mild shock, she says quietly. That's normal, but you need rest. Lien nods, doesn't trust her voice. The paramedic leaves. Kazuo stands by the broken window. He's changed clothes, clean black shirt, jeans, no more blood. But the violence still clings to him like cologne. His phone rings. He ignores it. It rings again. He declines the call. A text message lights up his screen. Lien can't read it from across the room, but she sees Kazuo's jaw clench. He types something, sends it, turns his phone off completely. That was your father, Lien says. Not question. Yes. What did he say? Kazuo walks over to the couch, sits down heavily, exhaustion written across his face. He wants me to handle this quietly, pay off the families, smooth everything over, pretend tonight didn't happen. And what did you tell him? That I'm done pretending. The weight in those words settles over the room. Lien looks at the boys. They've moved to the kitchen table. Kai colors in a book Renji found somewhere. Renji leans against him, half asleep. They look like brothers. This is why I should never have been here, Lien says quietly. This world, your world, it's not safe for children. Kazuo doesn't argue. You're right. Then why did you ask me to stay? He's quiet for a long moment. Then he looks at her, really looks at her. Because my son stopped having nightmares, he says. Because he started eating breakfast without screaming. Because he laughed yesterday when Kai told him a joke about dinosaurs. His voice cracks, just slightly, because for the first time in his life, Renji believes the world might not hurt him. Lien's throat tightens, and now he knows I'll burn the world down before I let anyone hurt him again. Kazuo leans forward, elbows on his knees. Or Kai, you can't protect us forever. Watch me. The certainty in his voice should feel arrogant. Should feel like another rich man making promises he can't keep. But it doesn't. It feels like a vow written in blood. Footsteps echo in the hallway. Heavy, deliberate. The front door opens. An older man enters. 60s. Silver hair slicked back. Expensive suit. Eyes like ice. Lien doesn't need an introduction. She's looking at the patriarch, Kazuo's father. The man who built the Rengoku empire with silence and brutality. He surveys the broken window, the overturned furniture, the evidence of violence. Then his gaze lands on Lien. Cold, calculating, dismissive. So this is the janitor causing problems, he says. Kazuo stands, places himself between his father and Lien. Her name is Lien Chun, and she's not causing problems. She's the only reason Renji is still alive. The patriarch's expression doesn't change. You're being dramatic. Am I? Kazuo gestures toward the broken window. 3 armed men broke into my home. They came for my son, and they knew exactly when to strike because someone inside our organization fed them information. I'm aware. The patriarch moves further into the room. Marcus Webb has been dealt with. Dealt with how? He's no longer your concern. The temperature in the room drops. Lien's stomach turns. She doesn't want to know what dealt with means in this world. You think that solves anything? Kazuo's voice rises. Marcus was following orders. Someone higher up wanted leverage against me. Someone in our own family. And I will find them. The patriarch's tone stays flat, unbothered. But right now, you need to contain this. Send the woman and her son away. Pay them off. Move on. No. The word hangs in the air like a gunshot. The patriarch's eyes narrow. Excuse me. I said no. Kazuo steps forward. I'm not sending them away. I'm not paying them off. I'm not pretending tonight didn't happen. Then what exactly are you planning to do? I'm dismantling half the syndicate. Silence. The patriarch stares at his son like he's speaking a foreign language. You're joking. I've never been more serious. Kazuo pulls out his phone, powers it back on, pulls up a document, shows it to his father. The patriarch reads. His expression goes from disbelief to fury. You've already filed the paperwork. This morning, 4 hours ago, while you were sleeping, Kazuo pockets his phone. By noon today, 6 operations will be shut down. 8 captains will be removed. Every dark deal that makes us a target gets burned. You'll destroy everything I built. No. Kazuo's voice stays steady. Calm. I'll destroy everything that destroys us. The patriarch's hands curl into fists. For a moment, Lien thinks he might strike his own son. But then he looks past Kazuo, past Lien, toward the kitchen table, where Renji sits, coloring quietly beside Kai. No screaming, no broken plates, no violence, just a child being a child. The patriarch's expression shifts. Something flickers behind the ice. Something almost human. He's calm. The patriarch says quietly, yes. He's been calm for weeks now. Yes, because of her. Not a question, an observation. Kazuo doesn't answer. Doesn't need to. The patriarch looks at Lien. Really looks at her this time. Not as a problem. Not as a janitor. But as the woman who did what no expert could. What do you want? He asks her directly. Lien blinks. I'm sorry. What? Do you want? Each word deliberate. Money? Property? A new identity? Name it. I don't want anything from you. Everyone wants something. Then I want safety for my son. Her voice stays steady. Strong. I want him to grow up without looking over his shoulder. Without threats and lockers. Without men breaking into buildings at midnight. That's not something I can guarantee. Then you have nothing I want. The patriarch's jaw tightens. For the first time, he looks genuinely surprised. Then he turns to Kazuo. You're making a mistake. Maybe. Kazuo doesn't back down. But it's my mistake to make. And when the other families see weakness, when they smell blood in the water, then they'll learn what happens when they come for mine. The patriarch stares at his son. Years of control. Years of shaping his heir into something cold and calculated. All of it unraveling in one night. You've changed, the patriarch says quietly. Yes, because of them. He gestures toward Lien and the boys. Yes. The patriarch nods slowly. Then I hope they're worth it. He turns, walks toward the door, stops in the doorway. The board meets tomorrow at 10. They'll want answers. They'll get them, Kazuo says. The patriarch leaves. The door closes behind him. Lien exhales. She didn't realize she'd been holding her breath. Kazuo sinks back onto the couch, drops his head into his hands. You just went to war with your own father, Lien whispers. I went to war with the world he built. Kazuo looks up, his eyes red, exhausted. The world that almost took my son. What if they come back? They won't. How can you be sure? Because tomorrow, everyone will know what I'm willing to do to protect what's mine. He stands, walks over to the boys. Renji looks up. Is Grandpa mad? Yes. Kazuo crouches down. But that's not your problem. Your only job is to be a kid. Okay. Renji nods, goes back to coloring. Kazuo's hand rests on his son's head. Gentle, protective, and Lien realizes something terrifying. She's watching a man choose love over legacy. Watching power bow to something more fragile. Watching an empire crack open to let light in. And she has no idea if any of them will survive what comes next. If you were Kazuo, would you tear down everything for the people you love? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the final chapters will break your heart and put it back together. The board meeting happens at exactly 10. Lien doesn't attend. Neither do the boys. Kazuo leaves them in the penthouse with 6 guards stationed outside. She watches through the window as his car pulls away. Black sedan, tinted windows, disappearing into Portwell city traffic. Is he coming back? Kai asks. Yes, Lien says. She hopes it's true. Renji sits on the floor, building another model, a helicopter this time. His hands move steadily. No shaking, no frustration. 3 weeks ago, he couldn't touch a model without throwing it across the room. Now he's building rotors. Lien's phone buzzes. Text message from an unknown number. Everything's fine. Meeting running long. Don't worry. It's Kazuo. She recognizes the tone, even through text. Another message follows. Renji okay? She snaps a photo of Renji working on the helicopter. Sends it. 3 dots appear, then disappear, then appear again. Thank you. 2 words, but they carry weight. Hours pass. Kai and Renji finish the helicopter. Move on to lunch. Lien makes sandwiches from ingredients she finds in Kazuo's kitchen. The penthouse feels different in daylight. Less intimidating. More like a home that forgot how to be lived in. At 2:30, Kazuo returns. He looks exhausted, tie loosened, jacket slung over his shoulder. But his eyes carry something new. Relief. It's done, he says. Lien sets down the dish towel. Done how? 6 operations shut down. 8 captains removed. 3 board members resigned rather than fight me. He drops onto the couch. And my father publicly backed my decision. He what? Back me. Kazuo's laugh comes out tired, disbelieving, in front of the entire board. Said it was time for new leadership. Time to evolve. Why would he do that? Because he saw Renji. Kazuo looks toward his son. Really saw him. For the first time in years. Calm. Happy. Building models with another kid. He shakes his head. My father built an empire on fear and control. But he couldn't control his own grandson screaming. Couldn't stop the nightmares. Couldn't make Renji feel safe. His voice drops. And then a janitor did in 3 weeks what he couldn't do in 7 years. Lien's chest tightens. I didn't do anything special. You did everything. Kazuo meets her eyes. You showed him kindness. You let your son be his friend. You stood in front of that door when armed men came for him. Any mother would. No. His voice firm. Not any mother. You. The words settle between them. Renji appears in the doorway. Helicopter in hand. Dad. Look, I finished it. Kazuo's entire face transforms. He stands, walks over, takes the helicopter carefully. This is perfect, he says. Voice thick, you did this all by yourself. Kai helped with the hard parts. Then you both did amazing. He sets the helicopter on the shelf, right next to the model car. A small collection of childhood starting to build. Renji looks up at his father. Are you staying home today? Kazuo crouches down. I level with his son. I'm staying home every day for a while, he says. No more meetings, no more late nights. Just us, and Lien, and Kai. Kazuo glances back at Lien, question in his eyes. She doesn't know how to answer, but before she can speak, Renji does something impossible. He walks over to Lien, looks up at her with those dark eyes that have seen too much, and says 6 words that stop the world. Can you stay forever? Lien's breath catches. Kazuo freezes. Kai grins. Lien's voice cracks. Renji, please. His voice so small, so hopeful. I like it when you're here. I like Kai being here. It's quiet. Good quiet. Good quiet. 2 words that somehow explain everything. Lien drops to her knees. I level with him. I like being here too, she whispers. But this is your home, not mine. Then make it yours. He says it so simply, like it's the easiest solution in the world. Kazuo stands slowly, crosses the room, stops beside them. He's right, Kazuo says quietly. This place hasn't been a home in years. It's been a fortress, a cage, a place we survived in. He looks at Lien. But these last few weeks, with you and Kai here, it's been different. Different how? Renji laughs. I sleep through the night. The penthouse doesn't feel empty anymore. His voice drops. You changed everything, and I don't want to go back to the way it was. Lien's heart pounds. What are you asking me? I'm asking you to stay. He doesn't move closer, doesn't crowd her. Not as staff, not as a caretaker, but as... He stops, searching for the right word. As family, Kai finishes. He's moved beside Renji, both boys watching the adults with matching hope. Kazuo looks at the boys, then back at Lien. As family, he echoes. The offer hangs in the air. Lien thinks about her tiny apartment. The night shifts, the bills stacked on her counter, the constant exhaustion of surviving alone. Then she thinks about Renji's smile, Kai's laughter, the way this broken penthouse has slowly been healing. The way she's been healing. I need to think, she whispers. Take all the time you need. Kazuo steps back, giving her space. But know this, whether you stay or go, you and Kai will have protection. Financial support, whatever you need. I don't want your money. I know. He almost smiles. That's why I trust you. Silence stretches. Then Renji takes her hand, small fingers wrapping around hers. You don't have to decide now, he says, wise beyond his years. Just don't leave tonight. Okay. Lien's eyes burn. Okay. Promise. I promise. He nods, satisfied, goes back to the helicopter. Kai follows, leaving Lien and Kazuo standing in the living room, city sprawling below them. Future uncertain. You changed my son, Kazuo says quietly. And you changed me. I didn't mean to. I know. He looks at her, really looks at her. But you did anyway. He walks toward the kitchen, stops, turns back. I know this world is dangerous. I know asking you to stay is selfish. But I've spent my whole life taking what I wanted without caring who it hurt. His voice breaks. This is the first time I've ever asked, ever hoped, ever let myself want something more than power. He doesn't wait for an answer, just disappears into the kitchen, leaving Lien alone with a choice that will change everything. Stay in the world she knows, safe but struggling, or step into something new, dangerous but full of possibility. She watches the boys build another model, watches them laugh, watches them exist in that good, quiet Renji talked about. And she realizes something terrifying. She's already made her choice. She just doesn't know if she's brave enough to admit it yet. Would you stay or would you leave? Tell us in the comments what you'd do. And subscribe, turn on those notifications, because the final chapter will reveal the choice that changes everything. Don't miss it. Dawn breaks over Portwell City. Pink and gold light spills through the penthouse windows. Lien stands at the glass, coffee cup warming her hands. She didn't sleep. Behind her, all three of them are still asleep. Kai and Renji curled up on the sectional. Kazuo in the chair nearby, arms crossed, head tilted back, finally at peace. She watches the city wake up, cars filling streets, people starting their day. The world moving forward like last night never happened. But it did happen, and everything's different now. Footsteps sound behind her. Quiet, careful. Kazuo appears beside her. Hair messy, eyes tired but clear. You're still here, he says. Not a question, an observation. I promised Renji I wouldn't leave during the night. And now that it's morning, Lien takes a breath. Now I have a decision to make. He doesn't push, just stands beside her, looking out at the same city. Two people in completely different worlds trying to figure out if they can exist in the same space. I talked to my sister last night, Lien says quietly. Told her everything. What did she say? She said I was crazy, that I should take Kai and run as far as possible. Lien's grip tightens on the coffee cup, that your world will destroy us. She's not wrong. I know. Lien looks at him, but she also said something else. She said Kai hasn't smiled this much in years, that he talks about Renji like they're brothers, that he's excited to wake up every morning. Kazuo's jaw tightens. And what do you think? I think I'm terrified. The words come out raw, honest. I think I've spent my whole life playing it safe, staying invisible, surviving instead of living. She sets the coffee cup down on the windowsill. And I think these last few weeks have been the scariest and most alive I've felt since my husband died. Kazuo turns toward her fully. Lien, let me finish. She holds up a hand. You're offering me something I never thought I'd have again. Safety, security, a home for my son. But that's not why I'm considering staying. Then why? She looks past him, at the boys still sleeping, at the model helicopter on the shelf, at the evidence of healing happening in real time. Because Rinji asked me to stay, and when he said it, his voice didn't shake. His hands didn't curl into fists. He just looked at me with hope instead of fear. Her voice cracks, and I realized, if a 7-year-old boy who's been through hell could be brave enough to ask for what he needs, then maybe I could be brave enough to say yes. Kazuo's breath catches. You're staying? I'm staying. The words feel like jumping off a cliff. But I have conditions. Name them. Kai's safety comes first. Always. If your world ever threatens him, we leave. No questions. No arguments. Agreed. I'm not your employee. I'm not your staff. If I stay, it's as an equal. Agreed. And this, she gestures between them. Whatever this is or becomes, it happens slowly, on my terms. Not because you own this building or because you have power. Kazuo steps closer, not crowding, just present. I don't want to own you, he says quietly. I want to know you. I want to watch my son keep healing. I want Kai to have the childhood he deserves. I want to build something that isn't based on fear or control. He reaches out slowly. Give her time to pull away. She doesn't. His hand covers hers. Warm, steady, scarred from last night, but gentle. I want to be better, he whispers. And you make me believe I can be. Lien's eyes burn. What if we fail? What if your father changes his mind? What if? Then we fail together. His thumb brushes across her knuckles. But we don't fail alone. Behind them, movement, small sounds of waking. Rinji sits up, rubbing his eyes. He sees them standing together and freezes. Are you leaving? His voice tiny, scared. Lien turns, crosses the room, kneels in front of him. No, she says. I'm staying. Rinji's eyes go wide. Really? Really? He launches himself into her arms, holds on tight, and for the first time since she met him, he cries, not from pain or frustration, from relief. Kai wakes up, sees his mother holding Rinji, sees Kazuo watching them with something broken and hopeful on his face. We're staying, Kai asks. Lien nods. We're staying. Kai grins, joins the hug. 3 people tangled together. Kazuo stands apart, watching his son be held by someone who chose to be there, watching a family form in ways he never planned. Rinji pulls back, looks up at Lien with those dark eyes. Does this mean you're my mom now? The question hits like lightning. Lien's breath catches. She looks at Kazuo, searching for guidance. He just nods. Permission and hope wrapped together. Lien's voice shakes. I could never replace your mother, Rinji, but I could be someone who loves you, who stays, who keeps you safe, like a second mom, like a second mom. Rinji considers this, then nods, satisfied. Okay, and Kai's my brother now, if that's what you both want. Both boys look at each other, grin, nod. Brothers, Kai confirms. Kazuo crosses the room, kneels beside them, completes the circle. Then it's settled, he says, voice thick. We're a family. For people, too broken, too young, all of them carrying scars. But together, the city continues waking outside, sunlight streaming through glass. A new day starting. And in the penthouse that used to feel like a fortress, something impossible happens. It becomes a home. Weeks pass. Lien moves her things in slowly, one box at a time. Kazuo gives her the guest suite. 2 rooms with a connecting door. Privacy and proximity balanced. Kai enrolls in Rinji's school. They share classes, become inseparable. Kazuo keeps his promise. Operations stay clean. Board meetings become less frequent. He's home for dinner every night. The patriarch visits once a month. He doesn't smile, doesn't soften, but he brings model kits for the boys. Nods at Lien with something almost like respect. Progress moves in inches. Rinji's therapist reports breakthrough after breakthrough. The nightmares stop completely. The violent outbursts become rare, then non-existent. He learns to say, I'm frustrated, instead of throwing things. He learns to ask for help instead of shutting down. He learns that people can stay. And Kazuo learns to be a father instead of a commander. Learns to listen instead of control. Learns that strength isn't about dominance. It's about showing up, being present, admitting when you're wrong. One night, 3 months after Lien decided to stay, Kazuo finds her on a balcony. City lights spread below like stars. "Hey," he says softly. "Hey." He joins her at the railing, keeps respectful distance. "Like always. I never thanked you," he says. "For what?" "For giving us a chance." He looks at the city. "Most people would have run, should have run, but you stayed. I stayed for Renji." "I know." He glances at her. "But maybe you also stayed for you." Lien's quiet for a moment, then nods. "Maybe I did." They stand in comfortable silence. Then Kazuo speaks again, voice low, uncertain. "If you stay, everything changes." Lien turns toward him, recognizes the echo of words he said months ago. "Everything already changed," she says. "But what comes next?" He struggles. "What we could become scares you, terrifies me." His honesty raw, "Because I've never wanted something this much. Never let myself hope for something real." Lien steps closer, closes the distance he always maintains. "Then we'll be terrified together," she whispers. His eyes search hers. "Are you sure?" "No." Her smile comes soft. "But I'm here anyway." Kazuo reaches out slowly, cups her face with one scarred hand, gives her every opportunity to pull away. She doesn't. He leans in, stops just before their lips touch. Question in his eyes. Lien answers by closing the gap. The kiss is gentle, tentative. Two people learning how to trust again. When they pull apart, both are breathless. "I don't know how to do this," Kazuo admits. "Neither do I." Lien's hand finds his. "But we'll figure it out." Behind them, through the glass doors, they can see the boys. Playing video games, laughing, being kids. Safe, happy, home. And for the first time in years, the future doesn't feel like something to survive. It feels like something to build, together. The penthouse lights glow warm against the night. Inside, a family that shouldn't exist continues existing anyway. A mafia heir learning gentleness. A single mother learning to trust. Two boys learning that love doesn't always hurt. For people proving that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is choose each other. Even when the world says you shouldn't. Even when it's dangerous. Even when it's impossible. Because some families aren't born. They're built, one impossible choice at a time. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs hope today. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we bring you stories about real people finding strength in unexpected places every single week. Drop a comment telling us what part hit you hardest. Your words inspire others going through their own impossible situations. We're building a community of people who believe that quiet strength changes the world. Join us, and remember, sometimes the storms that break your life are the ones that build your future.